I'm Brian Dilts. Today I'm going to talk about a bunch of things that people do that helps them lose in a interview situation and they don't even know why. Let me give you the first example. I'm leaning back in my chair, and at first I wasn't even looking the camera in the eye. That's you. Two big things that sometimes the interviewer doesn't even recognize. But when you lean back in your chair, it almost feels like you're going to put your feet up on the desk. You don't own the desk, you don't own the interview. It's time to sit up, have a straight back, and maybe not have your back touch the chair. And pay attention. Look the people in the eye, look away occasionally, but generally look them in the eye and look at other things in the room to occasionally break that stare. Another one is when people, when you're talking to people and you steeple your fingers in front of your face, or put your hand in front of your chin. Looks like you don't want to say something. A piece of interview technique which really hurts is when you put your finger in your ear like this, it tends to make people feel like you don't want to hear them when you're playing with your ears. So don't play with your ears during an interview. Another one, if you'll notice, my hair is a little bit messy, just a little bit. Make sure your hair is shampooed, it's combed, and it's not greasy. It just looks nice. Not fancy, it just looks nice. Another one, don't know if you've noticed, I have a 5 o'clock shadow. I purposely have one today, and you can barely notice it, but I guarantee you that in an interview, that 5 o'clock shadow might keep you from getting hired, and no one would know why. Another one is I sometimes have a few specks of paint on my hands from doing a project, or a little dirt under my fingernails. I like to get out in the garden. Dirt under your fingernails, specks on your hand, or specks of paint on your clothing just aren't acceptable. You may not notice them, and they may not notice them. Another one which sometimes turns people off is incredibly intricately done fingernails. If your girls want to have fingernail done nicely, don't make them really intricate and have them distract from you. They distract more if you're using your hands to talk. So just a warning. Used to say that the shine of your shoes would determine whether or not you get a job. It's not so much anymore because too many shoes don't have a shine. If you do have shoes that will shine, make sure they look good. Make sure there's no worn spot on your shoes where the brown turns into a white because it's scraped up so much. Get those shoes looking good. And the people nowadays are less likely to say that's why they didn't hire you, but they may think it. Another problem is not that you necessarily come in a horrible looking suit, though that might happen, but it can simply be that your shirt has a few wrinkles in it. It's very inexpensive to get an iron, a little spray starch, and have a really nice looking shirt. Or if you want to, take the shirts you're going to interview with, take 3 or 4 shirts, take them to the cleaners, tell them you want a high starch on them, and use them only for interviews, just so that they just look sharp. Nice thing is, if a shirt is high starch, you only use it for an hour, you really want to take it back and touch it up again so you can use it, touch it up again with a hot iron, and it will stay nice and crispy. One thing which a lot of people don't notice is that their suit has a used smell. It's not a bad smell, but it's not a clean smell, and that's something you have to watch out about yourself. Another thing is, don't use a strong smelling cologne. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't use any cologne or perfume at all, and I would only use a deodorant that's a very mild deodorant, that maybe the unodorized deodorant. People get an impression when you walk in the room. If the impression is clean, a little bit of smell from soap, suit smells clean, the shirt smells clean, they don't catalog that and say, that's why I'm hiring the guy or I'm kicking him out of the process. But quite often, it's the reason. Women have a problem which knocks them out with both male and female interviewers. That is, they wear their bras too small. They've put on a little bit of weight, and there's right outside the bra, there's kind of a bunched up bit of flesh. Looks terrible. Most people don't know why they're looking at that, and it looks bad. Problem that happens with both men and women when they've gained a little bit too much weight is the gap the shirt has when it pulls apart a little bit like that. Okay? If your shirts don't fit well, go to Salvation Army and get a shirt that fits, or wherever you have to, but get a shirt that is actually big enough for you. Same thing with your pants. Nothing like a muffin top for men or women where you cinch that belt up and your fat lords over the belt. Get a belt that fits, get pants that fit, and make it look like you dress well. Another problem that happens sometimes is people come in, and it's the worst one, they come in not believing in themselves. Before you go into an interview, stop for a second, close your eyes, take a deep breath, put your fingers together, and just say to yourself all the reasons why they would want to hire you. Think about all the good things you've done, and then go into the interview with your eyes open. Don't go into the interview with your eyes closed. Those are just some ideas of things that can make it so that you will be included in the group that's getting the final interviews in the next job interview that you take. I'm Brian Dilts. My website is www.howtoreallygetagreatjob.com, and my company's website is www.dilts.us. We'll catch you later.